Peter had arrived late to his date with Shay again. He claimed it was traffic, but the black eye blooming on his face told a different story. Shay didn't wait long before pointing it out, her tone sharper than the steak knives on the table. She asked him how he got it, crossing her arms in that way that meant, "I'm not letting this go." Peter, ever the reluctant mystery box, shrugged and said he honestly didn't know, maybe he slipped on the way in or maybe the door hit back. Shay didn't buy it. She leaned in, stared through the half-lie, and said he owed her more than a joke. Peter sighed. He knew that tone too, the one that carried disappointment under all that patience. He told her he wanted to explain, but he couldn't, not really. Shay, visibly frustrated, told him she had shown up an hour early. She had cleared her work schedule, rescheduled calls, canceled plans just to make time for him. And still all she got was secrets. Peter tried to comfort her, reaching for her hand with that trademark "please don't hate me Parker" look. He apologized genuinely, the way someone apologizes when they mean it but know it won't fix much. She softened slightly, and for a brief shining moment it looked like the night might still be salvageable. From their table by the window, Peter saw it. Rhino body slamming Screwball into a hot dog cart like it owed him money. Peter stood up abruptly, muttering that he had to go. Shay, now tired and numb to the drama, didn't beg or argue. She simply said she couldn't keep doing this, not when it always ended with him running off into smoke and sirens. Peter nodded, and this time he didn't try to justify it. He stepped outside, ducked into a nearby alley, and reached for his suit. But then he stopped. Maybe for the first time in years, he realized being Spider-Man didn't always mean wearing the suit. So dressed as just Peter Parker, slightly bruised, emotionally scrambled, he walked straight up to the middle of the fight. Rhino looked ready to use him as a toothpick, and Screwball was live-streaming something with an aggressive amount of filters. Peter raised his hands and told them both very calmly that he was on a date with someone who mattered to him, someone he might actually love, and if they could just, for one night, not obliterate Times Square, he'd really appreciate it. To his surprise, they actually agreed to stop just for tonight. Peter returned to Shay's side, slipping back into the booth. He looked at her and whispered that he was back, unlike his dad, who had left years ago and in classic deadbeat fashion stayed gone. Shay let out a breath she'd been holding for years, smiled despite herself, and kissed him softly. They sat together, finally undisturbed, sipping cheap wine and eating overpriced risotto. Meanwhile, across the street, Rhino was awkwardly trying to rizz up Screwball with lines he had clearly stolen from bad action movies. Peter, for once, allowed himself to relax. Just a boy, a girl, and the smallest victory against the chaos of the world.